Good evening and welcome back to the live sessions. By now, you know Mteto. You know the drill. We go online, we have a guest, and we just have a nice session with them to talk. So, before I introduce my guest for tonight, I want to reflect on something, and it's regarding the overlooking of small steps, you know, the fact that today, I think this is the third time I'm doing something like this. Well, third time doing it successfully. The other time we weren't able to go on due to some technical issues that affected, you know, us being able to go on with our life. So today is the third attempt at this one, and my guest for tonight and myself, we are just going to come and talk about a very touchy subject to some, but it's also a hot potato in the country. It's regarding money management, and I chose that we do it on a random day, and not ever write about the build up to the day, because I understand that when you build up towards the day, people might be less interested given what you're going to talk about. So this is why I made the conscious decision not to even tell anyone that this is what will be happening. This is who I will be having. This is what the topic will be about. But just looking at the small steps that I did. Day one, I said, let's do this kind of thing. We did it. It succeeded. And literally all I had to do was receive a message from my guest. He said, "Are we still on?" And I said, "Yes." And we went on and we did it. Second time we did it. And the third time we unfortunately had technical glitches. But today we are here. Let's take small steps. Let's, it's an idea. It's bothering you. You keep hearing it. You keep seeing it. Take that small step. Say yes and see what happens after you've said yes, or see what happens after you've put yourself out there, because I don't want to say there's power in small steps, but there is. It sounds quite cliche, but there is power in small steps. But anyway, if my guest is here, if not, we are still just going to be giving a bit of background about who she is and why I'm happy to have her as my guest. So her name is Tumelo Faith Modipa, and she's one person after Krish. The only place I've ever called people with their name and surname, both name and surname, was in Krish. And so Tumelo is the only person who I call her with her full name, Tumelo Faith Modipa. I don't know why it happens naturally, but that's who she is. I discovered her with a YouTube channel she runs. It's called Tumelo Faith Modipa. And her YouTube channel, she talks money management. She talks savings, how to invest, and she's the money lady. She's known for helping people to manage their money. But what also makes me to appreciate and to also love the good work that she does. Glenn says he doesn't know why he's here. Glenn, you're about to have a fantastic time, trust me. So now, with Tumelo, right? I discovered her channel, and then she was talking about money, and I'm like, who's this girl? One day I gave her a call, and it's like I was calling a long-term friend. I'm like, "Hi Tumelo, I need assistance with this," and she was ready to assist. In no time, she had assisted with file returning during tax season. And since that day, Tumelo has been part of the people that have made a name for me in the radio space. And so I want us to catch up with her today to share some bit of tips on what to do when we want to save money for ourselves. Yes, I know and I'm aware of the fact that, our pockets are a bit strict.
I'm so glad I got it right the first time.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. I was still talking about you, Name. And I'm glad you saved my life by requesting to join because I was starting to be clueless what I'm going to say next.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm so happy you availed yourself. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's been a hot minute.
How was your day, Tumelo?
It's like, what's this?
Roller coaster.
I hear you, and I hear stuff you said like earlier, so I'm just trying to figure out what. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna slow down.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Where are we?
Okay. Perfect. Tumelo, I was just saying that you're one of those people that contributed towards my radio personality profile, people now take me seriously when I talk about money because of people like you. But for you, when do you start having the conversation about money?
Honestly,
yeah.
Honestly, I think it randomly just at any chance I get. Yeah, any chance I get. I think maybe in the previous months it's been a bit different. It's been a bit difficult because I've fully integrated into working from home, so I don't interact with people as much. But honestly, I think I try to do it at every opportunity I get, especially with people I know, my peers. And sometimes it's just, let's break the ice and see where we go with this. It's a very sensitive topic, but when you engage people, you learn a lot.
Yeah. So, when did you start seeing the necessity to have conversations about money?
I'd have to say it started a while back. It has to be, I think, in my varsity days when I had to be more responsible with my allowance. I think that conversation started first with myself before I could go on and, try to have a conversation with other people. I know I used to live in a family, so obviously the conversation started with myself, and then my roommate or my next door neighbor was the first person who was like, maybe I should consider, talking about money with my peers. I don't know if I could do this whole YouTube thing, but maybe let's write. Well, I never wrote anything down. So many years passed, but essentially just talking about concept of money had to be when I was in university.
It started when you were in varsity, and then then how did you then start to record the videos and post on your YouTube channel? And also just tell us how it was like to start that YouTube channel, and perhaps give out your YouTube name as well.
It all started during the pandemic, which was in 2020. I think it went live in May. I'm not sure if it was March or May, but the 2 months that start with M. So what happened was the name of the channel, really, I didn't want it to be anything else other than being known by my name. It's really different. And I think at the time I was not sure as to what I'm focusing on. I'm still not sure what I'm focusing on even now. But I know in principle, I do want to try and talk about money a lot and not have it be a very sensitive topic. The starting of the channel was a lot of learning. For starters, I've never shot a video, set in front of a camera, spoke into space. Literally, I'm talking to myself. My first video, I think I uploaded my first video after a month of actually creating the channel.
Really?
Yeah.
So your YouTube channel is Tumelo Faith Modipa, right?
Yes.
Just as your name is spelled on your Facebook.
Yes.
And then you talk about savings a lot.
I do.
And it's something that I struggle with. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that struggles with saving.
I personally also do struggle with it sometimes.
You?
Me. I'll explain why. I think I'll explain why maybe now, because just consider how things change overnight. Like, for instance, the petrol price goes up, oil price goes up, and you realize everything else is going up, but my salary is not going up.
Sure.
How am I going to be able to factor in the extra R2 that goes into buying oil when I actually need to buy oil? That extra R4 that goes into petrol when I need to drive from here today because my salary is not going up. Where am I really going to take that money? Savings do lack. I might not save this month. I might save next month. But it's challenging. There's a lot of, you need to go sit down and go restructure things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but how do you build the culture of saving? Like, for me,
I think the way to go about it is to don't think about the amount per se. It's nice to have a goal, but when you're starting, you are really just trying to get the principle right. So if you focus more on the amount rather than your ability to actually just do it, it becomes hard. Because what happens when you fall off the wagon and you don't reach your goal, or you can't save that specific amount? You then just stop because I failed to save 500. Like I only have 400 instead of the 500. So in principle, it's not about the amount, but your ability and learning to actually do it. So yeah.
At what point do I save? When I get money?
At what point? Literally when you get your money. You know how you get your salary today?
Yes.
I don't want to compare the two, but you will get your salary, and then the first thing that goes out would be you pay your tithe. The same discipline, you pay your tithe, is you pay your tithe and then you pay yourself, and then the debit orders go out.
So you debit order to yourself?
Yes, debit order to yourself. If that's one way to look at it. It's like literally debit order to yourself.
Oh my goodness. But how do you do it? Are you also for the idea to open an account where you're putting your savings, or it's fine even where you are receiving your savings, you can just somehow use everything and know that the balance is your savings?
I'm a little bit of both. I'll explain why. It goes back to what I was talking about in terms of discipline. If you are disciplined enough to have your savings with the same bank, that is easy to transfer from one account to one account, it's fine. If you don't have that discipline, maybe transfer to another bank that you think, for instance, I bank with FNB. If anything, sometimes I call myself an FNB ambassador. If anything, I love my FNB account over anything. So if I was to transfer money to another bank account, I'd probably be bored with that bank account. So the money will just stay in there whenever I debit it in there. But it depends really on your discipline. Are you disciplined enough to actually move from your transactional to your savings within the same bank, or would you rather separate them? I'm easy. Honestly, I have savings with my same bank, and I have savings with a different bank, and I'm able to keep up with both.
So you have savings for, wait, you have two types of savings?
I have not even, I have two different bank accounts.
And so, but okay.
So it's
it's
two different bank accounts, and each bank has its savings. Like for instance, then let's go back to I'm an F&B ambassador.
Yeah.
At F&B, we have what they call a savings pocket. So at random, they round up your change and then they put it into a savings pocket for you. And then you could have your own, what do they call it? A call account, your 32-day notice account, a fixed account, a tax-free account. So you have all those options. I have most of those, and then there's that other thing.
Okay, before I take I see, do you see there's a question there? Before I take that question.
I saw it, but I didn't see it.
Okay. Are you ready to answer that question, or is there YouTube?
See it. I saw a text and then I don't know what else. And I don't know how to
says, with that in mind, how do you deal with black text? But before we even go into black text, I guess the thing that we're trying to do here is to first talk to yourself about savings and build the ability, right? And once you've built the ability, it's now a thing of being consistent with it. And then you've spoken about how it can be difficult sometimes to keep up with consistency, you know, given that, you know, there are outside factors. And did I have a question for you regarding savings? But what's the end goal of saving? You know, like right now, is it not time for us to go into our savings, and just because you can see the economy is, you know, it's forcing us to go into our savings?
If it's bad, if things are bad, yes.
Okay.
But if they're not bad, don't do it.
Is there a prize? Why? Why are we saving? Why are we saving?
There's no prize, but you're really just trying to save yourself. Because think about it. I think I tried to explain the difference between a saving and an investment.
Yes.
So the difference there was saving is essentially you don't want to find yourself what is this, between a rock and a hard place. So you're trying to save yourself from those. So you could save for specific things. You could also just save for in case like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. And then with an investment, what are you doing?
An investment is trying to build wealth. Let's leave it at that. Trying to build wealth. You want to be rich at a certain point in your life.
Okay. So you're not trying to sell your toes to be well.
I cannot speak of that. I do not know what's going on here. So that's the excuse from that one.
Yeah. I also saw it and I'm like, what are these people talking about? But anyway.
Is it even a real thing though?
Yeah?
Is it even a real thing?
I'm still researching on that, you know. Are you ready to talk about black text, or are you still researching on it?
I'm still researching because personally it's not something that I have experienced, so I cannot fully speak about it. Because I'd like to think that usually it would have to be something that is something one has experienced. If I do talk about it, I might not touch on a whole lot of things. So it's not something I'm ready to talk about.
Sure. Okay. So now we're saving, and there's a thing where people say, I need an accountability friend.
Yeah.
Yes, when I'm saving. Do you offer accountability partner or services when it comes to people saving?
I think I've done it. I've done it explicitly with one person where I had to regularly check in. And then overall, I haven't done it this year. I don't know, life has just happened this year. Not been very consistent. But for the past 2 years, I know that you know. But for the past 2 years, I've done where each and every day, very early in the morning, I'd say it's day 150. Yeah. So that was my try to, remind people.
Are you still doing it?
I'm still doing it. I've just not been posting.
And why? You have left us behind. You left me on day 2.
I probably did leave you on day 3.
Yeah.
But in principle, it's also now you realize, are people really doing it? People are not checking in on some. But Faith, why are you not doing it anymore? We need you to go back to reminding us early in the morning. Can we be depressed at 8 o'clock? Oh my goodness. Why am I falling behind? So no one's been saying anything. So I'm thinking you guys are fine.
This is why I even had to call you here, because I'm like, one of the things she must address. Why has she not been reminding us? We've been gobbling our money, and there's this meme name. But the context is when you are fasting. So I think it's a chimpanzee. It's chowing on a carrot, I think. And so they say when you are fasting and then you remember, when you are eating and you remember you're fasting. So statuses every morning would remind us, oh, by the way.
Yeah. But I think we're halfway there. So I still have like a good 6 months to still remind you guys. So yeah,
please.
Essentially it's more principle rather than amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why had you stopped? Did you give a reason, or you just said I just stopped?
I didn't give a reason. I think I tried doing it. I did it consistently, I think, probably for the first month. And also, I think my biggest problem was I was trying to take on a lot of challenges this year. I realized not all of them suited everyone, and I was really just trying to have everyone on board in whatever way. So there was the 10-thing challenge, there was the 52-week challenge, the weekly one, and I wanted to use another everyday one for a month. And then there was just a whole lot of numbers that needed to go. So I would have had about a good 3 to 5 statuses a day on a month. And yeah.
Can I ask you, don't you go broke trying to do all these challenges? I mean, you have 4 already. Don't you go broke?
I do. That's why I said to you, sometimes it's impossible to do it. Sometimes you realize, maybe I need to stop this one challenge so I can take 4 rand to buy oil. Yeah.
Man, it can be difficult, right?
It's honestly, it's realizing. I think the biggest thing when moving forward is when you're trying to say and you live in cupcakes country where things are constantly going up, but your salary is saying no. And then with every financial year, tax also just bites into your mind. Some priorities really just take a dip. Yeah.
Sure. Are you looking to perhaps hold seminars where you are teaching people how to save, or are you looking to build on having consulting services where people can walk in and say, Tumelo, this month I'm suffering, but I want to save. I have this goal. What is the end goal towards, the objective of this beautiful thing that you're doing?
I don't think I'm brave to stand in front of a crowd and be like, let's have this conversation.
We'll train you.
I'm already in training right now. It's a good thing I'm only seeing your face.
Yeah.
In terms of consulting, I think I've been learning, especially when it comes tax season. But I think there's a lot of learning that needs to be done for myself. Because dealing with people is something else. There's people who are the sweethearts of the world, and then there's other people who will make you run from pillar to post. So yeah, I need to first learn to deal with different characters before I can actually be in a space where I want to expose myself, especially when you're talking about money. And in this case, it wouldn't even be my money, it's somebody else's money. So
sure.
I don't want to be in a point where someone's like, there are cents missing, this is your fault. So I need to be prepared if I'm going to have to do something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's not there in the horizon for now, ne?
Not that it's, let's just say for now. Yeah.
For now, because YouTube can always open those opportunities for you. Somebody can just come and say, hey, how about? But also, I'm looking at the fact that, you relate so much with students. And I mean, I say this because I was a student myself, and looking back at my varsity days and my relationship with money then, had I had someone like you to hold my hand and to remind me constantly to save, I think I would be, I don't know if this level you understand what I mean by it. But
no, I understand, because I think that's the real reason why I actually forced myself to start, because I wish I had someone do the same thing. I had to teach myself most of the stuff. It would have been nice not to be learning at the time, but maybe to learn for a month and know that I'm set for life. But I had to go through a lot of learning for those many years.
What do you say to someone who, they are trying, and of course it's hard, right? It's hard for them to keep going back at it, but they try to save and they can see it's hard, but they just keep trying. What is the message that you can try and you want to say to them regarding saving?
I think there's multiple approaches to it. For starters, if you are trying so hard, what exactly are you doing it for? Sometimes you also need to know the goal. As much as you just putting away money for rainy days, what are you thinking those rainy days could possibly be? How much money could they possibly need from you? Really, why are you doing it? Because if you're trying, let's just say you're saving money in the name of saving money. You don't know why you're doing it, but because save money, it's easy to lose sight of it because you don't know where exactly you're going to use the money for. So if it's there now, why can't I use it now? And like, if you know, I need to save money because I'm thinking December we all go home. Being home needs money,
Of course.
So if you're saying, okay, I'm saving for December, it's easy because you know the goal. And if I don't save December, I'm going to have to end up spending money that I actually don't have. And if I put away money just specifically for December.
Sure. Okay, I got disturbed there a bit because I was thinking. But I heard you. And then another thing that a person could ask is, but let's say I'm saving towards this particular goal, right? And then, but I see that I have money, I've saved, I have this money, it's there. And I don't know what to do with it. Now that I have it now, I don't know whether to just take it and chow it, or perhaps, when you get money in your hands, it's a thing of, do I still need that, or should I, And so when you're weighing your options, what are some of the good products on the market that a person can invest in or put their money in, especially when you're young, or just even when you don't have any other obligations?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is exciting for me. I'd say think consider long-term saving, long-term investment. Think about my favorite app of all time, Easy Equities. So buy stocks, buy shares, like literally just buy. Although they don't go up overnight, but over a long term, they do exceptionally well. The one thing I think I don't hear a lot in conversation is you need to save for retirement while you're still young.
Oh.
Yeah. Supplementary retirement, even if you are in a good and steady job where they have a pension fund or a provident fund or whatever they call it, always supplemented with your own private annuity plan. So let's say, for instance, government employees get something, GEPF, government, what is this? Pension fund. So, yeah. You can also go on the site and get your own personal one. Your old mutuals have, your Sunlums have. I know FNB has.
Why are they not making you an ambassador? I'm counting. This is the time you're mentioning them. Yes.
Yeah, so your big insurance companies, have, your financial institutions have. So that is also, I think that's one thing. Also tax-free investment.
Oh.
So those are some of the things I would say if you have money to put away for long term. Especially if you don't know what you want to do with it. Put away for long term.
So what's a tax-free savings?
A tax-free savings, as like really in the name, it's you put away money into a savings account, but not just any savings account, but a savings account that's called tax-free. So what happens is the money that goes in there is not taxed at all. So no VAT, no fancy taxes, nothing. It's whenever you withdraw, you get as it is. But obviously that has its own terms and conditions. You can only put away a certain amount a year and a certain amount over your lifetime, which is a year right now. It's 36,000 and overall 550,000. It might change next year. It might stay the same, but yeah.
So, when you're talking about a tax-free savings account, in my head, I'm thinking, where do we get it? Where do we get the product? Is it something you can go in the bank and say, open a tax-free savings account for me?
Yes.
Does it earn interest?
It does earn interest. So your banks do have, it does earn interest. The interest does not get charged to that also. So hence the tax-free part of it. So anything it earns, the money earns, does not incur any taxes. Unless if you go over the limit. Let's say the limit is 36,000 and you put in 37,000. The interest that 1,000 earns will be taxed, unfortunately, because we're only decided to be an overachiever. But yeah.
Okay, Tumelo, do you have any testimonials ever since you started teaching people how to save and having the money conversation. Do you have that one particular person that still stands out today to say, you know, when I started this, I didn't think it would get to this, and now here we are. This is the kind of feedback I've gotten.
I'm trying to remember the most recent one. Was it this year or last year? But it was still during mid-saving. You know how we celebrate 50th year?
Yes.
But it was just giving me progress in terms of how far it's gone. She didn't think she'd be able to do it, but she had done it. And the nice thing is, she was like, I think I've put away so much that I've actually put away for advance. Like, if we are at day 200 and we're supposed to be maybe at 5,000 at day 200, she probably maybe had the 5,000 and maybe had the extra 500 because she, you know, put an extra effort, and the extra effort led to her. Then it means she wouldn't have to worry about putting in money for it. But that doesn't mean don't do it. It just means, you know, you just got into the habit of putting away money so much so that you don't even now consider how much you're putting up.
I think I'm satisfied with the questions that I wanted to bring to you, just as a, you know, I think this is, more than anything, this is an icebreaker conversation to say, I know people who say, but how can we normalize the conversations around money, and what are the aspects that we can look into, and etc. etc. We haven't touched on your favorite subject, and I wonder why. Budgeting. But
honestly, we could go on for the whole day.
When it comes to budgeting, I know you even say budget.
Yeah, like literally write it down. Don't write it in your head.
And what's the importance of writing and not just saying, okay, I'll go to the shop and get this, and then I'll be fine?
Because honestly, when you get to the shop, everything changes. I always say I'm gonna go to the shop to buy this one item, and then we end up spending a whole 2 hours at the mall because now I decided not to write
it. This is why I say maybe let's have a consulting services. You know,
you need to be very practical about it. I know. I always say I need this one thing, and the next thing you are at the mall for 2 hours, or life happens, and now my can't account for money because now spend it on things you shouldn't have. And
all right, what else have we not covered? Okay, now
you know a lot of things.
you know. Look. You see this thing that's peeping. This. My sister gave me a lecture just before I go, just before we go on, and now I realize, oopsie, I just brought something that she would be very mad to see me bringing up. But as I was saying, that it's an icebreaker conversation. More than this, they'll have to go to your YouTube channel to hear more.
Yeah.
Follow
There's
you
nice things over there.
Obviously, and also it's not just finance that you talk about, right?
No, actually,
I mean,
no.
Yes, because the other time your sister was teaching you how to
sign language.
Yes. That was fantastic, man. Teach me how to greet sign language. Just
depends. This is normal hello, but then there's this one also.
Is it? Let me ask you. Does it have English, Sepedi, and Swahili?
No.
It's the universal language.
Sign language in itself is the language. The same way English is the language.
Okay.
Is the language.
Okay. So, but more than this, they'll have to go to your YouTube channel to hear more about it. Now, all I was doing was to bring, because I know there are people who said to me, please include Tumelo on your list. And I'm like, okay, guys,
Well, I appreciate them. Tell them hello.
Oh man, but I love what you do, and Oscar Tlogela, don't leave us for a long time. Remind us. Are you gonna remind us tomorrow
I'm
about
gonna
saving?
remind you guys tomorrow, maybe at 9. I can't say 8, but probably maybe 9.
To save. And how far are we? How far are we as far as saving is concerned this year?
100. We are day. What is day? Day 150. I think 53.
So that means it's 153 cents.
No, it's 15 rand.
It's not 150.
It's not 150. 150 was a day. What day was it? Goodness, I forgot. A
Day
long time ago.
15 or so. Somewhere there.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that. And so what's the balance now?
The balance. I've lost count of the balance because I've not been updating that. Also because Stash, I use Stash to automatically move those 1 rand for me. So the balance, but definitely tomorrow I will have the actual balance.
Tell me, what does Stash do? Does it have an automated system for your 10 cents challenge?
Yes, it does.
So when you say I'm on the 10 cents challenge, every day it adjusts accordingly.
Yes, it does. So you don't have to go and do the math like it was before. Because at first I started with an Excel spreadsheet, and then I discovered the app. It was recommended to me actually, and then life has been easier for me that way. But I still do well. I still did do the calculation for everybody else who did not have the app, but I did also recommend the app myself. So yeah.
But why are we still not having partnership? But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. Let me thank you for the time that you took to be my guest. Everything else that our listeners or viewers want to know in detail about the stuff that we were talking about, they should head over to your YouTube channel. It's Tumelo Faith Modipa on YouTube. If you don't know how to write the name, just look at the guest's name on this live, and you will be able to, just copy and paste it into your YouTube search button, and then you'll be able to find her there. She has amazing content, guys. I'm not even lying to you. She has absolutely amazing content. I know you also do.
I'm not consistent though,
but that's not the problem. That's not the point. At this point, that's not the point. You do have amazing content. I enjoy it. I'm a beneficiary to your savings. I can't tell of my my testimonial here, but what I can say is that your savings challenge have helped me as well to build the culture to save. Because at first I discovered this thing you're saving through a channel that was an international channel. They were speaking about dollars. And I'm like, well, dollars are not the same as rands. I had that argument. And then when I met you, I realized this is relatable. 10 cents is something I know, I've seen, I've touched. So let me see if I can follow through. I struggled in my first year, girl. I struggled. Well, I started off by putting it in a bottle, and then we moved from bottle to an envelope. We moved from the envelope to the bank account, and now we are in the bank account and we are doing fine. Other than, the bottle, what I can tell you is that this part of places are richer because of those bottles.
Yeah.
But now they are poorer because I decided to automate my stuff, and now I'm good and I'm happy. So I just wanted people to also hop on the train of saving, because it might not look fancy now, but it's going to look fancy in the future. And I guess that's the message that you also are trying to bring to the world, to say it might look uglier now, but in the long run. Do you have any last comments that you would like to say? Also, this is your moment. Remember, we always talk on radio and no one is looking at you. Now this is your time. Say for the moment.
This is the face. They must know the face. If they've not seen the face, this is the face. And if they want to see more of the face, they must go to my YouTube channel.
They shouldn't be. This is the face.
This is it.
Yeah. Any closing remarks, ma'am?
Any closing remarks? I think don't be shy to talk about money. It's weird, but do talk about it. I actually really do like talking about money. Whether I have it, whether I don't have it, I don't mind the conversation. There's always so much to learn. The same way you learn about things, you learn about money, how to make it work for you, how to stretch it, and sometimes how to just, spoil yourself a little. And then I like to say, what I could say, die once, just die once, and then we'll no, but not, don't take it back. So sometimes you really do need to spoil yourself, right? And then you recover from that, because it's not like you're going to spend everything. It's just sometimes you actually really need to just enjoy the money that you've been putting away, the money that you earn. So, yeah.
All right. Tumelo, you're one of the, if I ever were to compile a list, that newspaper that has top 100 young people, you would be, you obviously know you would be on that paper because.
But I don't want to toot my own horn. I want to hear
it. You would be on, I guess, what magazine? What are we going to call our magazine? Bonolo magazine. You would be on the top 100 young people of the Bonolo magazine because you are one of those people I've met who are doing exceptional work as far as, we take it lightly, but our communities need people like you. Ordinary citizens in South Africa, if they can consume the kind of content that you produce on your YouTube channel, then we are building our community positively, and that's what you do. My girl, shout out. Have a lovely evening. Everything else, like I mentioned earlier, everything else that they would need clarity on or anything like that, they'd have to head over to your YouTube channel. And just like that, guys, we enjoyed our live. I'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Oh, no, not tomorrow, next week, Thursday. Bye, Tumelo. Bye, everyone. Good night. Okay.